I go on walks regularly with my mother. We live very close to each other in neighborhoods like this one. And I also go on walks with my mother-in-law, but we don't live close to each other, so it's not quite as frequent. And I've observed on different walks the differences between my mother and my mother-in-law. On a recent walk with my mother-in-law, they live in the country, there was a house across the street that was being renovated, and she was so curious about it, and I was too, so we decided to go and explore. It was the weekend, so nobody was there. And we poked around, even went around to the back and peered in windows and things like that. And it was lots of fun, and we learned a little bit about the layout for the house. I told my mom about that, and she's like, "Oh, I would never do that." Because I'm just not a curious person. And I thought, really? And I am a very curious person, and I'm also a lifelong learner. And it made me think, what is the connection maybe between curiosity and having a learning mindset? And curiosity maybe being a little bit more like my mother-in-law and not so much like my mother. And it makes me think of leaders who develop their employees and want to develop and grow future leaders in their organization. If you have an employee like my mother-in-law who's naturally curious and maybe has a bit more of a learning mindset, that job might be a little bit easier. But what do you do if you have an employee like my mother who says they just aren't curious? And what is that connection between curiosity and learning mindset? I'm curious what you think of that connection, and I'd be happy to hear your thoughts posted in a comment below.